Hi, and welcome everyone. My name is Sonia de Jesus from Metro, and I will be your host. And if you've called the 800 number, I'm sure we've spoken. So, hi, it's great to meet you. We are so glad you can join us for what promises to be a very exciting and engaging presentation with Richard Green, the founder and CEO of EVVNT. And also joining us today is Jessica and Hannah, also from EVVNT. Today's topic is one that everyone can benefit from, since communities of every size have events happening in and around your local markets. Richard is going to demo how you can monetize local events by launching your own events business, no matter your staff or market size. By joining us today, you will receive a recording of the webinar and direct access to Richard for a one-on-one meeting to learn how you can launch your event business. To give you a bit of background about our Metro partner and presenter, Richard Green is the CEO and chairman and founder of EVVNT, the event success company. Since 2012, EVVNT has emerged as a global leader in events marketing, ticketing, and discovery, proudly holding the title of the largest events advertising network in the US. Under Richard's leadership, EVVNT has forged 2,400 plus media partnerships worldwide with the likes of Hearst, leveraging technology to transform local events and empowering publishers to launch their own event commerce platforms, creating broader reach and additional revenue streams. EVVNT, along with Metro, works within the news media industry to help publishers take advantage of their unique position in their local markets to monetize events. And with that, I will hand things over to Richard. Take it away, Richard.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. We've got a short deck to take you through. The main ambition of today's session is to introduce you to EVVNT. We've had a long-standing partnership with Metro. Our primary function in the space is to enable publishers of all sizes to launch an event commerce business within their market. Whether you've been providing events content or events information to consumers through digital or through print or through email, one of the pieces of this puzzle that I believe is lacking over the term is that we fail to really capitalize on high quality content from editors, venues, local event creators in the market, and provide a real strong consumer channel that we can actually monetize. Just to let you know, EVVNT has a few key components. We'll run through it in the presentation today. But today, EVVNT supplies online digital discovery. We also supply self-transact workflows to buy event marketing and advertising. We also have a ticketing business for full white label ticketing. So we can not only ticket an event, we can promote an event, but we can deliver that event through digital discovery. And of course, we're working with Metro to provide print calendars. And that's really part of the presentation today, to walk you through EVVNT, our partnership with Metro, and how simple it is to launch a commerce business around events and publishing in your local market. Now, on the call today, I do have my team. So if you do have any questions, you can dive into chat and you can ask them live. We'll collect those questions. We may come back and review those and answer those on this call today. If not, we'll provide Q&A, questions and answers in the email when we distribute the deck that we're going to talk you through today. So let's kick off. So EVVNT, if you don't know of us, we've been in the US for around 4 years. We class ourselves as the event success company. And we really are pioneering the future of ticketing, marketing and discovery services, but specifically with you, the publisher and the partner. We have over 2,300 active partners within the US. We work with major brands, but we also work and specifically are successful in the mid-tier and smaller markets. Our goal is to activate events discovery, create really strong you as a publisher are probably promoting a generation is going through Eventbrite. It's really that simple. If we change local event creators and venues to use you for ticketing, you for marketing. You generate revenue that really hits the bottom line of your business. And you're not really changing what you're doing today. You're just changing the flow of ticketing to marketing that has revenue generation for you within the components. So how do we do it? Well, we equip you with tools and resources to launch your own events business. We have a complete set of tools. I can actually launch you with an events calendar today within 60 seconds. We can provide self-transact event submission and marketing tools that allow people to submit events and buy advertising 24/7, 7 days a week throughout the year. And our ticketing services, we actually can come into market and work with you, with your advertiser base, to sell ticketing into the market. But just to be very clear, our focus is on providing you a complete platform of services, including digital discovery, as well as print. We can even do email newsletter automation. So really providing a full solution. Our focus for you, for the event creator, and for us as a business is a sold out event. If an event is sold out, and that really is our focus, an event creator will be happy, and you will be optimizing the data collection and the revenue that you'll be getting within each event that's being processed. Our technology is self-serve. So if you already have 30 products that you're selling, or you have a small sales team, our solution is self-transact, and our sales team will work with yours, or we may even provide direct-to-sale market solutions. So we'll sell on your behalf. We are the specialist on the solution, happy to sell and then hand over sales techniques and accounts once your business is localized and set up. And lastly, reach. Our events discovery calendar is SEO friendly. You have access to consumers, but as part of using Event, you access our network of clients and publishing partners. We're reaching around 1.5 million local consumers every day, both locally, regionally, and also nationally. So when I talk about the platform and we talk about it having a complete solution, our platform is more than just discovery, which you may have had before, and it's more than just ticketing. If you've ever tried ticketing as a solution, we have a 360-degree events commerce platform with consumer purchase data at the core. What that really means is there's discovery, marketing, ticketing, app marketplace integrations. However, our focus is on selling tickets, generating income for you as a business, but also collecting really valuable first-party data such as name, email, telephone, and event discovery or event category type attendance information. If you were to bring us an event for 300 to 400 people, we're going to capture consumer data as well as income for you, which you can reuse within your business. At a conference I recently attended, magazines and local publishing, they told me they were generating around 100 to 200 emails every month for their newsletter. In this demonstration, there's one event that we ran in Traverse City where we sold over 6,500 tickets. That's an example of accelerated first-party data collection that's linked directly to revenue. So what does it look like from a revenue perspective? Now, if you've ever looked at events before, you've been sold licensing fees that have cost you money, or you've invested in a process, built your own calendar where you maybe have actually spent money but never seen any revenue. Our focus is really around generating revenue. And here's some examples of some of the markets with which we work, where an independent or individual publisher has started to provide ticketing, marketing, and discovery services. And this is the revenue that's been generated net to a publisher. So it can range from as high as $7,500, and it goes down to anything from $500 to $1,000 per month in net revenue return for investing in an events business. So what can you expect in terms of the platform? So the first job that we undertake is ensuring that we build a strong reach to consumers. So we provide digital calendars that go on your site where you have consumer traffic. We provide print calendars where physical ticketed events can appear in your print publications, and they include QR codes that allow people to scan and purchase tickets directly from their smartphone. We have ticketing, and we can also provide email newsletters. The key is to ensure when we ticket an event for an event creator, the event creators bought into the fact that we will get that event to a consumer audience. That's something that Eventbrite does not do today. Eventbrite provides technology, but doesn't really deliver the local consumer. When you provide ticketing technology, you have access and relationships with the consumers. And also, if you are running your owned and operated events, you might be running festivals or local events within your market personally, where you are passing 100% of the fee structure to a company like Eventbrite. If you're running your owned and operated events with our ticketing, you'll be getting revenue back because you're accessing the fee structure. And as part of selling ticketing and marketing into your local market, you can also introduce branded content, display advertising, social media posts, whatever it is you're selling today. You can also bolt that on to the relationship that you build with event creators and ticketed events. Just looking a little deeper at some of the products that we've mentioned today, the first one I think is really interesting. It's the one with Metro. It's our print calendars with QR codes. So we fully automate a page of print that you can take and put straight into your weekly, bi-monthly, or monthly publication. It represents events that are coming into your calendar that have been added by the local market, by you, and also from ticket sales success. When a customer is ticketed, you'll see there it is featured immediately with a QR code to purchase a ticket. But also, we can sell featured placement to other customers that may not want to specifically ticket at this time, where we might get them to ticket later. But the calendar lights up with imagery and QR codes when marketing spend is applied or when a client tickets with you. And interestingly, when we apply print into a market, we've actually seen a 15% increase in self-service transactions. The ability to submit an event, go premium, and be in the paper the week of the event, that drives value. In terms of ticketing, we have a fully integrated ticketing solution. If you or your client wish to ticket an event, we can provide ticketing services very similar to Eventbrite. It is just a page, represents a date where people can buy tickets and today merchandise for that event. We generate $1.50 and 4% on every ticket sold. Very similar to what Eventbrite, but instead of them keeping all of the commission, we take $1.50 and 4%, and we revenue share with you as our publishing partner in the market. In fact, we not only revenue share on the ticket sales, we revenue share on the marketing sales that support a sold out event. On average, ticketing generates 17% more revenue than without. So we really support this as a solution. Newsletters. Now, you may have a newsletter and you may spend hours producing one. And in there, you may place events that are ticketed by someone else. Now you can produce a newsletter where you include a ticketed event that generates revenue. We also provide fully automated weekly, bi-monthly, monthly email automation that will send an email to an audience of your choice, or we can actually use the ticket buyer data on every event and build you an event creator audience with which your newsletter is sent weekly, bi-monthly, monthly. The idea is if we this year with you sell 50,000 tickets, sending a newsletter to those consumers about new events that are going on in the market will increase the sale of tickets because we know they like events. We're just introducing them to more events that they might be interested in. Email is a really great way of getting that information into a mobile phone in front of consumers, saving them the need to come to the website and search for information. We have clients who include events in their current newsletter, but we also have clients that want a dedicated events newsletter because they understand that this is a flywheel of information creating revenue, and the more tickets are sold, the bigger the database, and the more continued ticket revenue will be sold. And it's also a value add for the event creator. If I create an event with you as a publisher that's ticketed, I'm now on your digital calendar, I'm now in your print product, and I'm now in your automated newsletter. And beyond that, paid items such as print or social programmatic display. So this is a ticketing solution primarily with inclusive advertising, but then has this really strong layer of opportunity for you as a publisher to sell premium advertising as we all share the experience of a sold out and successful event. Lastly, when it comes to upselling, we would recommend things like branded content, display advertising, social media. It's up to you what you want to do and what you want to sell to your customers when it comes to them being ticketed. But anything that drives ticket sales is going to be a value add. And if it's a small event, it might be a small budget. But as we've seen in some markets with beer festivals or jack-o'-lantern events, the budgets here for full print pages and branded advertising can be significant. A case study. So I wanted to show you an example of an event that we ran recently. It was an international the local news publisher, and they have a ticket brand that we created, white label, called My North. This single event, just one event in a single month, sold 6,581 tickets. Because we were watching ticket sale, we could increase the awareness of the event. This event was sold out in advance. We do have an app that event creators can use to check people in and sell tickets at the gate, but in this instance, sold out. The gross ticket revenue for this event was just shy of $250,000. And the revenue that was generated was actually $16,400. And that was purely in event ticket fees. And we shared with the partner at 50%, $8,200 of net revenue, a significant amount of revenue for a publisher for a single event. We had 2 ticket release dates, both sold out. So we had an initial release and a secondary release. And lastly, Traverse City Tourism, which was the relationship that was leveraged to secure the ticketing deal, want to host the championship again next year, which is super exciting. Successful relationship work at a local level, delivering local advertising with local ticketing, generating local revenue that stays local for a publication that has strong relationships in the market. Think about that. Eventbrite, worth 1.8 billion, does not have those relationships with you have in your local market. And whatever the size of the event, the opportunity stays the same. You have an opportunity to sell tickets, collect first-party data, and generate significant revenue month on month over the course of the year. Whether it's St. Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Christmas, or New Year, whatever events are happening in your market, if you are ticketing them, you are tapping into that $1.50 per ticket sold and 4% on the ticket price. So the goal, well, when we go out to market with our events commerce platform, our objective is to provide you the platform and a growth sales success team to get you to a revenue number that feels like you have an events business, not an events cost. So our goal is to get you to about $2,000 to $5,000 in net revenue per month. And the aim is once we start to build the venue ticketed relationships, the advertising relationships, over the course of year 1 and year 2 and year 3, you can see that revenue compounding up as you get more market share within your market. Now, the revenue here is based on a mid-tier market. In some markets, we've seen that to be double in larger. But even if this was a small market and you halved these figures, if you were adding 20,000, 60,000, and roughly 80,000, 90,000 into your business from this opportunity, I think you would agree this would be worth the time and effort, and also thinking about that first party data addition to the business. Lastly, in terms of how our product works, if you're wanting a replacement to your current event solution, but you don't really want to invest in the business side of it, you just want to get the tech up and running, we can provide event calendar solutions, digital marketing solutions, self-service for free. Replace what you have with something that is affordable, free, and revenue generating. However, we look today for real entrepreneurial publishers that are wanting to invest in either an enterprise level service where we provide an event success team and you go to market to sell your solution, or if you really want us to step to the line, our Enterprise Pro is a direct sold. We deliver you the tech, we work with you and your advertiser base, we pick up the phone with you or for you, and we get you over the line with regards to your 2,000 to 5,000 per month revenue. There is a cost to get the technology in place. However, the revenue return very quickly gets you a strong ROI within your market. That is the presentation for today. Thank you very much for joining the call. And I'm going to pass back to the team to see if there's any questions that have come in via the chat, or if you have questions now, you're welcome to jump on the chat and ask.
No questions in the chat yet, but as Richard just said, we're here. Any questions that you guys have, toss them in the chat. We'll be happy to answer those live.
I think the big question usually is, do you have an events calendar, or do you make an effort to collect events, find events, and submit events into the local market? That's usually my first question. And then secondly, if you are committed to getting events out to your consumers, do you have a way of commercializing that process? Is it an effective business? Can you, or are you generating $20,000 to $40,000 in revenue annualized from that process? Because if you're not, it's more of a process and work than it is a revenue. So I've got a message here from Michael, and it's, do your email audience integrate with MailChimp? Yes. So on the slide, you will remember that we had discovery, marketing, and ticketing. We also have an apps marketplace. So in our apps marketplace today, you can click and fully integrate into MailChimp, and you can automate newsletter creation of your ticketed event. So that integration with MailChimp exists today. Any other questions from the floor? Thank you, Michael. Well, no questions that are coming through. So this has been
actually, Richard, real quick.
How does it compare to services? So the question is from Jason, how does this compare to services event planners currently use? So we've been working in the ticketing space, Jason, for quite some time. It's interesting, and this is one you could take to your market and ask. But predominantly, my favorite question is, what ticketing service are you using? The predominant answer is Eventbrite. So my next question is always, why did you choose Eventbrite? And the answer is normally consistent. We don't know. It's just we know of it, or I attended an event once and it worked, so I'm aware of it. But I think that's one of the interesting points. Most event planners aren't really, they don't really care what services they use in the market. It's just important that they work. And what's really interesting about our approach is when we go to event planners and give them a suggestion for preference, which is your ticketing with your marketing, they adopt our offer very quickly. There's no real blockers or objections as to why to stay at Eventbrite. They normally feel that the offer from the local publisher is local, more compelling, and they also have that relationship, that phone account management relationship that they just don't get with some of the bigger companies. Feel free to ask if you've got relationships with event planners, or if you've got people that call you to book advertising for events. Ask them what ticketing they're using. Ask them, you know, are they locked in, or why do they use them? And if you get that response, that's quite common. And suggest, well, if we were to offer you ticketing and marketing as a solution, would that be interesting? I think you'll find there's a lot of positivity around that storyline. Any other questions from the floor? Okay. Well,
Doesn't
if there
look
is
like we have any more questions.
That's it. Thanks, Jessica. Well, this concludes today's webinar, sharply on 30 minutes, saving time for everyone today. Thank you very much for joining us. We will be sending you a copy of the webinar. We'll also be sending you a presentation that was in the webinar. Feel free to share that internally. And if you'd like to speak to us one-on-one for us to review your current event setup, we'll be more than happy to jump on a call and talk to you specifically about your events operations and how we could assist you launch your very own events business in your local market. Thank you for today. Speak to you soon.
Richard, thank you for an incredible presentation. I'm sure that many of our guests will be reaching out to you to set up that one-on-one meeting so that they can get started with their own events commerce business. To all our guests, thank you for joining. We know that your time is extremely valuable, so we appreciate you being here with us today. As a follow-up to today's webinar, you will be receiving an email with the link to set up a demo and a one-on-one meeting with Richard, and a link to today's webinar recording. For now, be well and have a good start to the rest of your day. Thank you.